Well, here we are, the final homestand of the 2015 regular season. The Phils have 3 more games left against one of the hottest teams in the National League, the National League East champion, the New York Mets, as we get set for Game 1 tonight at Citizens Bank Park. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, joined by Matt Stairs. This is the swan song for the Phillies for the regular season. 6 games left, 3 here against the Mets, 3 this weekend against the Miami Marlins. And the Mets have had the Phillies number the entire year. They've won 14 of the 16 games so far this season. And I guess you could say, Matt, that they've had the number of everybody pretty much since the All-Star break.
Well, they've been swinging the bat very well. We all know about their pitching. But what I find about the New York Mets is their hitting, it comes in bunches. I mean, with a lot of runs. Lucas did it when he's healthy back in the lineup. Big force in the middle of that lineup, hitting fourth. This is Friday night. Hits a 3-run home run on a fastball. Shows his power to left field. Comes up later in the game. Hits another 3-run shot to right field. He's a guy that doesn't strike out a lot. He makes very good contact. Here, hits a grand slam as well on Saturday. So another fastball down the zone. When he's swinging the bat well, he's making solid contact. Then all of a sudden you have to put up with Daniel Murphy, who's in the middle of a 9-game hitting streak. Over those 9 games, he's hitting .471, 5 doubles, 2 triples, 2 home runs, and 7 RBIs. He's been coming up with some huge hits. Another guy who puts the ball in play, does not strike out a lot, and doesn't try to do too much.
Well, you see the numbers since the 25th of July. It's essentially since the All-Star break. The Mets have won 40 games since July 25th, best in the National League. Home runs, 95, best in the National League. Part of that is Granderson. Granderson has 25 home runs in the leadoff spot, which is a brand new Mets record. So that's what the Phils have to contend with for these last 3 games against the New York Mets. Bartolo Colon, wait till we tell you the numbers for Bartolo Colon against the National League East. This is his 31st start overall. And David Buchanan, 2 pretty good starts in a row, making his 14th appearance in the major leagues this season. Well, all the hard work this season by the folks behind the scenes, you'll get to enjoy it one last time. The last homestand here in Philadelphia is coming up. Lineups and first pitch when we return. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Citizens Bank. One deposit checking. Keeping things simple is helping you bank better. By Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. By Toyota, where will Toyota take you? Visit buyatoyota.com to find out. Toyota, let's go places. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at IVX.com. won the first division crown since 2006. There's Bartolo Colon, who's getting ready to pitch here tonight. He just finished up his warm-up tosses, and David Buchanan and the rest of the Phils will take the field here at Citizens Bank Park. There's David. Back-to-back pretty good outings for David Buchanan. Without a victory, though, he's looking for a win here tonight. It's his second to last start of the 2015 season. So we're ready to go. Let's take a look at the Mets lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. Granderson leads it off in right, then David Wright and Daniel Murphy. Cespedes, the center fielder, bats cleanup. Lucas Duda plays first. Travis d'Arnaud will bat sixth. He's catching. In the bottom third of Conforto, Tejada, and Bartolo Colon. And they will indeed face David Buchanan. Buchanan, his earned run average is at 7.96. At this point, you kind of just brush the numbers aside and you just try to finish up the season strong, which, Matt, he's done that, pitching well in his last two outings, but this is a big test here tonight for him against this Mets lineup. Well,
it's a big test tonight. He's a guy who's going to go out. What you're going to see from David, as you can see the scouting report, he has 4 pitches, and he will throw all 4 pitches at any time. It does not matter. But the reason why he's had success the last 2 outings is he's having better control of his fastball, but his curveball has been very good. His curveball has been very good since being called back up. Rodriguez hit 226 versus his curveball this year. Yeah, his mechanics are a little different than they were early this season. Whether that's helped or not, who knows? But as Matt did say, he does seem much more comfortable. Well, time for the Nissan keys to the game. And key number 1 for me versus Clone is do not give up on fastballs inside. And that is for the left-handed hitters. He loves to throw that front door sinker. A lot of guys give up on it. He gets a lot of strikeouts. And Buchanan, keep on throwing the curveball. It's been very good. I like seeing him have the confidence in it. Well, he's going to face Curtis Granderson, David Wright, and Daniel Murphy. Terry Collins is going to the postseason for the first time as a major league manager. You see his overall record with the Astros, the Angels, and now the New York Mets. This is his 5th year as the skipper of the New York Mets. First pitch of the night to Curtis Granderson is a little low, so we're underway. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Granderson 256 with 25 home runs, 69 runs batted in. He rolls over on the second pitch of the game, 1 away. So a good offering from David Buchanan on that fastball. And now David Wright is coming up. The success of the New York Mets since the All-Star break is twofold. It's Cespedes, but it's also the addition again of David Wright back into this lineup. He's not going to hit the home runs that Cespedes has hit, but his on-base percentage is high and his overall numbers are fairly solid since he's returned. Yeah, and it's the presence of being in the lineup, the David Wright name. I don't care who you are as a pitcher, when you see his name in the lineup, you kind of change your approach of how you're going to pitch to him. It's that old adage too at baseball, you know, when a guy goes down, as that one's hit down the right field line, I don't know, slice out of play. When a guy goes down, it affects the team because you don't have his production, but it also affects the team because then somebody else has to hit where he hit. So they're not used to that. Moves everybody around a little bit. Very good point. And that's what happens. I mean, that's what if you have a guy who's your number 3 hole hitter the whole time, now all of a sudden you're trying to fill that hole. Guys are being moved around. Over toward the hole and into left field, a base hit for Wright. So 1-out single. You wouldn't think it'd make that big of a difference. Oh, well, it's the big leagues. You should be able to hit in the first hole or the 9 hole. It's a comfort zone when you get in there. Certain guys like hitting 4th. I loved hitting 4th. You know, I felt that's where I had my best success. Although my numbers came when I was hitting 5th. You know, I did not like to hit 3rd because I knew I wasn't the best hitter on the team. And I wanted out of that spot. You psyched yourself out. Oh, well, it's just reality. Just can't lie to yourself. A lot of people do. Here's Daniel Murphy. Murphy hitting 285, as Matt mentioned in the open. 9-game hitting streak. Hitting 471 during that streak. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike with that fastball. You know, and one thing we didn't say and mention in the open was that he's only struck out 2 times in 9 games. So he's putting the ball in play. You know, his on-base percentage and his slugging is ridiculous right now.
Well, and this has been the case for a lot of the Mets hitters against the Phillies. I mean, he has not struggled against the Philadelphia Phillies this year. 2-1.
Well, he hasn't had to make any adjustments. I mean, when you're hitting well versus teams, it's time for the team.
To the right side, diving stop, Sweeney. What a nice play. He gets the out at first. Solid defensive play by the Phillies second baseman. 2 outs.
Well, the key in this play right here is the first step. Sweeney does a very nice job getting a step to his left and making a very nice diving catch. But that's the key, is having your feet planted and having the initial step going to left and being very quick and making a nice play.
Sweeney playing second base today. Was a late addition to the lineup because Andres Blanco was scratched. Andres and his wife welcomed a baby boy to the world yesterday. Congratulations to them.
Congratulations, Whitey.
Here is Cespedes, who is 17 home runs, 44 runs batted in as a member of the Mets. A couple of close pitches in this inning. Down and away, 2-0. Can't get predictable with this guy. Change up, and that's on the inside corner. And it's 2-1. Cespedes, his numbers overall between the Tigers and the Mets: 35 home runs and 105 runs batted in. 41 doubles. It's also right at 100 runs scored. Towering fly ball down the left field line. Altair into foul territory, actually right on the edge of the line. He'll make that catch in fair territory. Side is retired, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. We'll move to the bottom of the first inning. It's the Mets nothing, the Phillies coming up. Quietly in their half of the first. Let's take a look at the Phillies lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phils. Galvis, Herrera, Altair, followed by Rupp, Ashe, and Sweeney. The bottom third of Cameron Rupp, Brian Bogusevic, and David Buchanan. They will indeed face Bartolo Colon. Freddie, 11 for 41 on the most recent road trip. First pitch. off the outside quarter. It's 1-0. Bartolo Colon, 31st start, 14 wins, 12 losses. Problem for him, and he's probably, well, I shouldn't say probably, he could get an opportunity in the rotation in the postseason. Are his numbers against everybody outside the National League East, Matt?
Yeah, and the scouting report, you just look at it and go, wow. You know, he's a 3-pitch pitcher. Average velocity on his fastball is 84, but he can hit 92 when he needs to. You know, and if you break down the pitch usage, fastball he uses at 84% of the time, which is second in baseball. 6.4 for the changeup and 9.5 for the slider. But the number that jumped out to me when I was looking at his numbers, 13.9 pitches per inning. He's a strike thrower.
Yeah, he just wants contact. He wants it as quickly as possible. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Galvis. All right, so those are his numbers against the National League East. 13-2 with a 2.74 earned run average. 13-2. Against everybody else, he's 1-10 with an ERA over 6. Why?
Baseball.
Who knows? Who knows?
Baseball.
It's crazy. People wonder about the rotation for the postseason. DeGrom's going to start game 1, probably against the Dodgers.
Yep.
Syndergaard will start game 2. Harvey 3. Game 4 is the one that's kind of up in the air right now. Terry Collins, the thought is that he's going to have Steven Matz, who's going to start Thursday now, not tomorrow. Thursday. Or it could be Cologne. There's the pieces of that young staff. Galvis fights it foul down the left field line. Well, this is a good sign for Galvis that he has seen now. This will be the 8th pitch of this at bat, because as the leadoff hitter, he has not been looking at a lot of pitches. He swings early.
This might be the time you see that front door sinker. No, they're going away.
They go too far away, and it's 2-2.
Unless that's a setup pitch for the next pitch.
It could.
Although Freddie's not standing very close to home plate. Looks like he's backed off from home.
Staying alive again. Yeah, I'm with you. It's kind of surprising that he's going away so often.
There's the front door sinker.
Fly ball center field, and Cespedes doesn't have to move that far, and 1 out. So a 10-pitch at bat for Freddie Galvis, and here's Odubel Herrera. Well, it's been a tad of a struggle for Odubel Herrera. 0 for his last 10. And since his average peaked at about 300, he is 9 for his last 53. He was so hot.
Yeah, he was.
Among a handful of Phillies offensive players that would like to finish the regular season strong, Pete Mackanin told the guys, listen, you're fighting for jobs. Nobody wants to lose 100 games, and the Phillies are at 97 right now. Go 4-2 or 5-1 over the last 6 games. You're not going to lose 100 games. Well, there it is. He breaks the 0 for 10 stretch, and he gets a 1-out single here in the bottom of the first. Come on, Odubel, where's the horns?
You know what I like about this swing, this is a changeup. And watch how long his barrel stays through the zone. When he was getting in trouble, his barrel was going in the zone and leaving. Now all of a sudden, if you watch right here, look how long that barrel stays through the zone. It gives you a chance to stay on through the ball longer, and that's the reason why he hit the ball to left field. He didn't hit it very hard, but if he would have took the old swing, it'd be a 3-U or a 4-3.
Quick toss over to first.
There's the horns.
There we go.
There's the smile we haven't seen in a while either.
Oh, and one to Aaron Altair. Did this young man ever show his athleticism in the series against the Nationals? An incredible catch out in center field and inside the park home run. Back toward the middle, and that'll sneak into center field, a base hit. Herrera is not going to test the arm of Cespedes, and the Phils have 2 on with 1 out here in the first inning. Good luck at McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Paul Turlish of North Cape May, New Jersey. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game, but Paul will win $100.
Another good at bat, because the approach you have to take against Bartolo Colon is gap to gap up the middle. If you try to pull him, that little late movement is going to be the rollover. Righties and lefties. So you think about letting the ball get deep and drive it back towards the middle. You know, even Freddie's ball, he tried just, you know, trying to glide the ball up the middle, which is fine. Think middle.
On the inside corner with a fastball, it's 0-1. Well, the Phillies certainly have seen enough of Bartolo Colon. He's 4-0 this year, with an ERA of 2.23 against the Phillies. 7-1 the last 2 years. Here are the numbers from the last 2 starts. 15 innings, 9 hits, no runs, 17 strikeouts. Yeah, 8 innings and 100 pitches. I didn't even think he looked like he broke a sweat the last time he faced the Phillies. He's going to break a sweat tonight, though. It's a humid night. Towards center field, Cespedes going back. It is gone. Center field home run for Darren Rupp, and the Phillies strike first. Honestly, wasn't sure if that had a chance to get out or not, but Cespedes kind of gave it away because he stopped. He didn't even go back to play it off the wall. It's a 3-run bomb.
Yeah, it's a very good swing right here. Another ball hit up the middle. Ball came back middle of the plate. Very short swing, compact swing. Loud home run. It's a great feeling as a hitter. You look out there and your center fielder is not running after the ball. You know you crushed it.
Well, Paul Turlish just won $100 thanks to Darren Ruff in the McDonald's home run jackpot. And a nice first inning lead for the Phillies.
And just before the pitch, I was thinking that, you know, these next 2 starts for Bartolo Colon could be very important going into the playoffs. If he's throwing well, they might say, okay, we're going to use you as the 4th starting pitcher. If you're struggling, we'll see what happens.
Well, even if I don't know if you agree with this or not, but even if he doesn't get the nod as a starter, we've seen the last several years how important an extra arm is out of the bullpen.
Right.
1 ball and 1 strike to Ashe. Way outside, 2-1. $17 first inning runs, including tonight's.
That kind of fooled the umpire a little bit.
A little bit.
That's where the catcher kind of taps him on the leg and says, hey, stay with that one.
Over toward first, Duda. 2 outs. A little frustration in the bat flip from Cody Ashe. Darren Ruff's adrenaline is still moving thanks to that 3-run home run. Here's Darnell Sweetie. Darnell is 0 for his last 21. And this is his first stint in the big leagues. I'll be interested, Matt, to see what you think of his swing. It seems like it's been long over the last few series. Chopper to second base. Murphy throws him outside, is retired. But the Phils strike first here tonight. A 3-run bomb by Dan Ruff. Home run number 11. Now 35 runs batted in, and this one to straightaway center field. On to the second. Phils up 3-0. To take on the Phils. Both games are at 7:05. Tickets can be purchased anytime by going to Phillies.com. 3-0 Phillies as we go to the top of the second inning. Lucas Duda will lead it off. Last time the Phillies faced the Mets, Duda, actually the last 2 times, Duda was not with the team. He was battling a bad back, and they weren't sure when he would be back. You know, he's back and he's fine. 3 home runs in the series against the Reds. 12 runs batted in.
His back might be sore after hitting on those home runs.
Jeez.
How about his OPS in those 3 games? 2.215. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Not a bad pitch right there by David Buchanan. 2 balls and 1 strike to Duda.
If you want to pitch Duda, the area where he will swing and miss a lot is an elevated fastball, belt high, inner third.
There's a liner out to right field. Bogusevic will make the catch.
He's a very, very good low ball hitter.
He is. So 1 out, and here's Travis d'Arnaud. Travis getting a chance to play against his brother Chase's team. Pete Buchanan was telling us today that there's a pretty good chance that Chase will start one of the 3 ball games, so he can at least say that he got a chance to play in a game against his brother. Travis, when asked about it today, obviously, as you would imagine, thought it was pretty cool. Said the first pitch is going to be up and in, though.
But how do you know Travis is going to be catching?
Well, that's an excellent point. You're going to roll the dice. popped him up. Sweeney out in shallow right field. And there are 2 outs. There is Chase. Pete said he almost started him tonight, particularly when Andres wasn't going to be here. Thought about starting him at second base. Chase is the older of the 2 d'Arnaud brothers. Came up through the Pirates organization, while Travis came up through the Phillies organization before he went to Toronto. Conforto takes inside, 1-0.
This kid hitting right here, Keith Hernandez, says potential to win a batting title many, many times. I know Ben loves his approach to hitting as well.
Yeah, they say he's got a great eye at the plate, which has certainly helped his cause at a young age from a discipline standpoint. There's a rocket right past Darren Ruff into right field. Bogusevic can't cut it off, and Conforto's on his way to second base, and he's there sliding with a double. 14th double of the season.
You know, there's a lot of hitters where you just know they hit the ball hard by the sound of the ball coming off, you know, and he has a very quick hands right there. Now listen to how loud this ball comes off the bat. That's the sign of a good hitter, knowing that you're squaring the ball up and having that thunder going through the zone. It's the sound of the ball coming off. A lot of hitters, when you hit it, it's like coming off like a newspaper. That one didn't.
Very true. So for the second straight inning.
I shouldn't say a lot of hitters.
Oh, a good amount.
Pitchers, yeah.
Second straight inning, the Mets have a runner in scoring position. Oh, and 2 to Ruben Tejada. Tejada's played shortstop. Wilmer Flores is the most likely candidate to play shortstop for the Mets. But he was hospitalized a couple of days ago. He had strep throat. Got him. Threw him a curveball. Matt, that's what you wanted for his keys. And he gets his first strikeout of the evening. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left in scoring position. We'll head to the bottom of the second here in Philadelphia.
Appreciation Day at 3:05 versus the Marlins. There will be a 2016 schedule magnet given to all fans. There will be plenty more prizes and surprises. You can order tickets now at Phillies.com.
Well, Isaac, thank you very much for that. Our crew has been outstanding again, as they always are, during the 2015 season. Isaac is part of the crew in the production cavity. And, man, can he do a promo. Oh, that was good. Cameron Rupp's going to lead it off as we move to the bottom of the second inning. Cameron hitting .235 with 9 home runs and 28 RBIs. He seemed like a natural, didn't he, Matt?
He did.
I don't know if he was reading a teleprompter or if he had that memorized.
Memorized.
Pitch up high to Cameron Rupp. It's 1-0.
Isaac's a very smart lad, so I'm assuming he memorized it.
You know, the man delivered a baby.
Yes, he did.
He can read a promo. Up high again, 2-0.
Although last homestand, he introduced himself to me.
Okay.
I met him 1,000 times.
Yeah, but you're not good with names, Matt.
Well, that's true, Pete. But I mean,
2 balls and no strikes to Rupp. Ground ball foul. Ground ball to shortstop, backhanded by Tejada. A little jump throw to first, and it's off the glove of Lucas Duda. I think Rupp may have beaten it anyway. That'll be a base hit for Cameron.
well, that's a very nice play. It's a sinker. Very nice play. Little short hop right there. But what I liked about it is Bob Davidson didn't get the safe sign or the out sign or the sign that he's off the base.
I was waiting for the.
So it has to be a nod.
Yeah, I was waiting for the sign that he was off the bag.
The veteran he is. We're up with another infield single.
Cameron, who turned 27 yesterday. Old man. 1 ball and no strikes.
I think he would have been safe. Yeah, he would have been safe.
Yeah, right technique. Front of the bag.
Yep.
Not the middle of the bag. Brian Bogusevic hitting .277 since he was brought back from the minor leagues. 1 ball and 1 strike. Look out below. Off the front of the suite level. And 1 ball and 2 strikes. So if the Mets decide to use Bartolo Colon in the postseason, he's pitched in 10 postseason games. 2-4 with an ERA of 3.70. I don't know if it's beneficial or not to have postseason experience. I mean, I would think this guy doesn't seem like anything phases him, so he's going to be calmer than, let's say, Steven Matz. But I don't know how long it would take Matz to, ease himself into the game.
Probably half inning.
Yeah.
You would think.
Just don't give up the farm. In the dirt, 3-2.
It depends on how that half inning goes.
Well, yeah, you can give up the farm and all the acreage around it. Runner goes. Pitch is hit foul. Oh. Boy, the ball is jumping tonight.
Off the barrels and off people's hands.
Yeah. But even the fact that that ball carried to where it did.
A missile.
Dave Buchanan's on deck. Strike 3 called. Throw to second base is in time to get run. Boy, that's a tough strike for Bogusevic. But it's a strikeout, throw out, double play. And there are 2 outs.
Well, that's one of the pitches I was talking about in the Nissan keys to the game was lefties cannot give up on this pitch. You know, I think about it, it looks bad because Bogusevic jumped up a little bit. It's actually a very good pitch.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Throw.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think looking at that replay, it was it's a strike. Buchanan slices one out towards center. Side is retired. No runs, 1 infield hit, nobody left, 2 in the books. And Isaac read a promo. What else could you want? We're going to the 3rd. On the Phillies.com, go to the fan section for all the information, and please submit, Matt, your answer on the subject line. The question is, in 2012, which Mets pitcher threw a no-hitter and which Mets pitcher won the National League Cy Young Award? Answer will be revealed in just a little bit.
Really?
That is, what's the easiest shot in hockey?
The easiest shot in hockey?
Yeah. What's a gimme shot in hockey? Where you'll get a goal without a question. Is there any?
Oh, you mean empty net?
Empty net. That's right. That's an empty net goal right there for you. Now you need 2 pitchers. There's 2 pitchers. Guy threw a no-hitter. Guy won a Cy Young.
It's the same guy.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not.
No. No empty net goal for you. Bartolo Colon takes outside. Way up high, 2-0 to Bartolo. Hitting 143.
Is one guy still pitching and one guy retired? Possibly?
Yeah, I don't know if he's officially retired, but he's close to it. Ground ball to shortstop. Colon drops the bat. Thrown out, one away. Curtis Granderson's coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy on what we talked about before. Aaron Altair with this unbelievable grab, Murph. I mean, the ground he covered to get to it, but then the air he covered to actually grab it. Pretty incredible.
It was indeed, Tom. I talked to him about it today, and I said, you know, you got a pretty good jump. I said, when did you know you had it? He said, as soon as I left my feet, I was pretty sure that I was going to be able to pull that one in. It was a terrific catch. And, you know, it's just part of the reason that Aaron Altair is a Gold Glove winner down in the minor leagues. Those were announced yesterday by Rawlings. 9 players throughout all of minor league baseball received the Gold Glove. He won it for his outfield position, and it's really kind of impressive. Another Philly, Cord Sandberg, who plays for for the Blue Claws, can't remember, he also won one. So 2 of the 9 players that won Gold Gloves were from the Phillies organization. That's only happened once this year, so good for the Phils. But when you talk about what Aaron Altherr has been able to do, we watch him glide all over the outfield, and I talked to him about which position he likes to play most. He said center field is where he really wants to be, but he feels comfortable in all 3 positions, and we've seen that since he's been up in the big leagues. He can really play a solid outfield in all 3 different spots. He said it was a terrific honor to win that Gold Glove in the minor leagues, but let's face it, guys, one goal. He has one goal, and that's to win it up here in the big leagues.
Well, that would be a great goal to achieve. Yeah, he's going to be in the plans for the Phils in 2016.
Yeah, and the nice thing about it is that he can play all 3 positions very well, which means that being in the big leagues, you're going to play pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Because that way you can give people a day off, or he might be an everyday left fielder, center fielder, or right fielder. You never know.
Yeah, he's got a plus arm, so he could fit in. I don't know if the Phillies have any plans to move Odubel from center, because he's been really good in center field this year. He's made just 5 errors. In fact, there's some defensive numbers that have him as the 2nd best center fielder in the National League this year. 1 ball, no strikes to David Wright. Now 2-0. He's missing in that same spot. Odubel has been able to go get it.
He has, and I have no problems leaving him in center field. He doesn't have the arm strength as Altherr or Cody or Frenchie or whoever's in the outfield.
Two and 1 to David Wright, who singled through the hole at shortstop his first time up.
Bogasevic has good speed in right field as well. Nice curveball.
Yep, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Has not thrown a lot of the curveballs today.
Came from the side a little bit there. They appeal, no swing, says the first base umpire. Toyota Major League Scoreboard. Big series going on up at the Bronx. Red Sox lead the Yankees 6-4. Yankees, yeah, second inning. Yankees are trying to solidify their spot in the postseason. Outside, ball 4. Buchanan just walked the last 2 batters. Well, that's pretty dangerous against any team, but in particular against this team when you have a 3-0 lead. Daniel Murphy, who grounded out to second base his first time up, but a fine play by Darnell Sweeney, will be the hitter.
You know, one thing with David, you saw the frustration after walking David Wright. You know, he gets right back on the mound. I'd like to see him maybe walk around a little bit and clear his mind a little bit and get back on the mound instead of getting right back up there and being quick.
Yeah, there's an adrenaline rush that comes with what he did, walking 2 guys, because you're getting angry at yourself. So if you calm yourself down, it might make it a little easier to get back at it. No balls, 2 strikes to Daniel Murphy. Got him. Boy, he was looking for something other than what he got. And that is a big strikeout for David Buchanan here in the 3rd. Two outs. And here comes Cespedes.
He was definitely looking fastball. Did not pick the rotation up. A very good spot for a no ball, 2-strike curveball. You want to bounce it. It's a good location.
All right, you've walked 2 guys in this inning. You have 2 outs. How are you pitching Cespedes here? I know carefully, but how are you pitching him here?
Well, I mean, you're going to pitch him careful, but also you got a hot hitter behind you.
A left-handed hitter, yeah.
You know, so it's pick your poison, I guess. I mean, Cespedes' last at bat, fly ball to left field, just out in front of a changeup.
Just out in front.
Yeah, and Duda hit a line drive to right field because he was just out in front a little bit.
Breaking ball, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
I'm definitely staying away from down and in to Cespedes. I'm going to try to work this corner right out in here.
And maybe with 2 strikes go up.
You can elevate, yes.
Seems like he's got a gap up in the zone, particularly with 2 strikes. Boy, that's a dangerous spot, but Sweeney gets to it. They had him played that way. Side is retired. No runs, no hits, and 2 men left. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Freddie Galvis at the top of the order when we come back.
Where health is all we do. Call 1-800-JEFF-NOW or visit jefferson.edu. And by your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Delaware Valley Honda dealer or visit delvalhondadealers.com.
Well, just because you're bald, Pete Mickelson, doesn't mean you can read billboards.
or sit in Tom's chair.
There's Pete, who does our camera up here in our booth.
Very good.
Excellent job with the billboards. Here's Freddie Galvis to lead it off, and Galvis serves one right at shortstop. 1 pitch, 1 away. Pete and Charlie O'Gara man the camera up here, and they do a great job. Not only because they're with us all the time and they're great company, but they do a great job just like the rest of our camera operators. We have the most talented camera operators in the world, and there's no lie about that. Pete is one of those guys. 1 away for Odubel Herrera. I can't wait until Matt, who does the handheld walking around the field, I can't wait till he does the SAT drop in Spanish.
See.
Yeah, that's going to be good. Rain is falling ever so lightly here in Philadelphia. 1 ball, 1 strike. You want to swing at that pitch?
Well, no, that's just the amount of movement on that front door sinker.
Well, he's been remarkable since he's turned 40 years old. He's not Jamie Moyer remarkable, but he's still pretty darn good. He's 47-31 since he turned 40 years old, with a 3.64 earned run average. Fanatic making friends. Off the hands. That's going to be a tough play. Cologne can't get it. Murphy kicks it, and Odubel will have his second hit of the night. It's now time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use the hashtag #PhillyPhotoDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile.
You know, that base hit right there is, one, it's a thing of beauty, but two, it just shows you how hard that front door sinker is to hit because it moves so much. You think it's going to be a ball, then last second you swing. You know, and Murphy tried to make the behind the back pass, and I think he hit himself in the backside with it.
Yeah, he did. It'll be nice to get a couple more runs here. With Aaron Altair at the plate with one man down, a runner at first. Chopper to third. That's just foul. Odubel heads back to first base. And a strike three called. I think you just fooled him. Flat out fooled him with not only velocity, but also the pitch itself. And that's two strikeouts. Darren Ruff is coming up. Tomorrow morning, wake up with special guests Marshall Faulk and Mike Missinelli on Bob. The best way to start your day is with Breakfast on Broad. Weekday mornings over on the Comcast Network. Darren with a home run that went 425 feet his first time up. Hits that one to third behind the bag. Wright has it. Sails the throw. Side is retired. No runs. One hit and one man left. On to the fourth inning. The Phillies lead the Mets 3-0. Great tasting coffee at amazingly low prices, delivered free the very same day. when you order by 11:30 a.m. WB Mason knocks it out of the park. Who but WB? Read that promo, Matt, because I know you've enjoyed a few cups of Java today. Today's National Coffee Day.
Yeah, and I just did one dumb thing to have one right now.
Why, are you perspiring because of it?
Well, we prefer to call that sweating in Canada.
Top of the fourth, Lucas Duda leads it off. He grounded out his first time up. Outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Duda, 290 against the Phillies this year in limited time. 4-game hitting streak. Center field, Odubel going back. And that one is gone. Into the bushes. Solo home run. 26th of the year for Duda. And it's a 3-1 ball game.
Didn't he go on one of these stretches earlier in the year where he hit a ton of home runs in bunches? He's one guy, when he finds his home run swing, he's elevating the ball. But this pitch here, 1, he missed the target, but 2, the location was down. And we mentioned earlier, he's a very good low ball hitter. And when that leg kick has good timing on it, puts a punishment on the baseball.
Yeah, there's something, you know, people are talking about this team or that team not playing well going into the postseason. It's not a big deal. I think it is a big deal. The Mets are playing very well, as Darren Ruff calls off Cameron Rupp. Just like the Blue Jays are playing well. That brings us to our Geico quote of the day. Terry Collins talking about the divisional crown. It's worth all the time, all the effort, all the press conferences, all the things you do. This is the culmination of it all. Last division title before this was 2006. They lost in the NLCS to the Cardinals. Ironically, that year Adam Wainwright was the closer for the Cardinals. Threw that hook to get Cliff Floyd to get Carlos Beltran to wrap it up. Well, Wainwright may come back not as the closer, but as a relief pitcher for the Cardinals this year in the postseason. I don't think they're sure what they're going to do with him just yet.
No, they have some injuries, that's for sure.
Yeah. Piscotty was released from the hospital today, Stephen Piscotty.
From that collision last night.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to hear.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to Conforto. Change up outside, 2-1. Darnell Sweeney charges, takes the big hop. Nice job by David Buchanan after giving up the home run and getting 2 quick outs. Outside and low, 1-0 to Tejada. Tejada struck out his first time up. Over to third. And Cody Ashe kind of let that one play him. And Tejada's on his way to second base. He'll get there. They have scored that a double.
The ball's not hit very hard. Cody just didn't get his glove down there quick enough. Does a nice job going over. I think he looked like he anticipated the bigger bounce.
I would agree with you.
The ball stayed down.
Yeah. Well, Buchanan can get out of it without any problems here because he's got Bartolo Colon, who he's facing. Upstairs, 1-0. Chopper to shortstop. Cologne thrown out. That'll do it for the 4th inning. A home run by Lucas Duda puts the Mets on the board. 3 home runs this past weekend against the Reds. 1 here in game 1. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. It's 3-1 Phillies. Double cheeseburger and small fry for just $2.50. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Buy Chevrolet. Visit your local dealer at ChevyDealer.com. And buy Yellowwood brand pressure treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it. Matt Stairs went out and got us some dinner, so he'll be back in a little bit. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? Yeah, you're not starting your diet till tomorrow. That looks pretty good.
I started my diet. That looks delicious.
Bottom half of the 4th inning.
Starting my diet doesn't mean I wouldn't eat it.
That's true. I've been there, done that. Cody Ashley grounded out softly to first his first time up. Takes upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Phillies lead it 3-1. A 3-run home run by Darren Ruff is outdone a solo shot by Lucas Duda. Back to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Strike 3 call. There's that 2-seamer again. It came back. 3rd strikeout for Cologne. That'll bring Darnell Sweeney to the plate. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, Tom, thank you very much. It's time for our Coors Banquet Timeless Moment. And it was exactly 100 years ago today that the Phillies clinched their first National League pennant with a 5-0 win at Boston. It was a one-hitter for righty Grover Cleveland Alexander. It was his 30th win of the season, his 4th one-hitter of the season, and 12th shutout of the season.
Huh.
Grover Cleveland Alexander was bringing it that year.
12 shutouts.
Yeah. 30 wins.
Larry Shank, who for a long time was the Phillies PR director here in Philadelphia, always did a great job as Sweeney hits one back toward the middle. A base hit. And that ends an 0 for 22 stretch for Darnell. A 1-out single here in the 4th inning. And Murph, I know you saw this. He put together some tidbits about that pennant and some of the headlines that were in the stories, the newspaper that day that joined it, were rather entertaining.
Yeah, and it was actually the front page story of the Philadelphia Inquirer back in 1915. And if you read it, and it's a whole different ballgame the way they used to write about sports. With very eloquent language and all these descriptive words. Not that the writing's not good nowadays. It was just very different back then.
You read some of it to us today.
It was strange. It was almost like a poem or an essay.
Yeah, we needed a dictionary to figure out some of the words. But it was very cool.
Siri couldn't even figure it out.
No, and she can't figure it out. I mean, what are we trying for?
Darnell draws the throw over. Some of the stories that were in the paper that day, back in September of 1915, some of the headlines were, "Trail kills man in wagon." Must have bounced a little bit down the trail. 2 children badly burned overturning tea kettles. More than one tea kettle. Cameron Rupp hits one out to center field. Cespedes makes the catch. 2 away. Back to first goes Darnell Sweeney. Some of the stuff that Murph was reading to us today, it said wonderful pitching by Grover Cleveland Alexander, the greatest pitcher of the day, and a record-breaking home run drive by Clifford Cravath. I may be mispronouncing that. Were the salient features of this wonderful game. Alexander helped Boston to 1 hit, that being made by his former roommate Sherry McGee. And so helpless were the Braves before the modest Nebraskan that they gave up winning long before the last inning was played. I didn't read that. I didn't give it justice with my reading there. Where's Pete? Pete, you need to read that for us. Bogusevic pops it up over toward the third base dugout. David Wright over. Makes the catch. Side is retired. No runs. 1 hit. And 1 man left. We've played 4 innings here at South Philadelphia. The Phils lead the Mets 3-1. Here we go. In 2012, which Mets pitchers threw a no-hitter and which Mets pitcher won the National League Cy Young Award?
Cy Young winner was R.A. Dickey.
R.A. Dickey is correct.
The no-hitter was Johan Santana.
Johan Santana is correct. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack.
And I believe the last out on the no-hitter was a great play by the left fielder who ran into the wall.
Right, knocked himself out.
Yeah.
Can't remember who that player was, though. But he was, his effort was outstanding. Two balls and two strikes to Curtis Granderson. Granderson is 0 for 2 tonight. Or I should say 0 for 1 tonight. He walked his last time up. That walk was the 91st walk of his career. I mean, of the season. 91 walks. And he's got a base hit to right field. Oh, here we go. June 1st, 2012. Johan Santana, 134 pitches. David Freese goes down swinging. The out was earlier in the game, but it saved the no-hitter.
Correct.
What also saved the no-hitter was a call down the left field line by third base umpire Adrian Johnson. He called a ball foul that was fair. Replay would have overturned it. David Wright, a swing and a miss. It's 0-1 with a runner at first base. Nobody out here in the 5th inning. Side corner. Wow. That has been a strike tonight. Way outside.
You know, I don't know if David is overthrowing that fastball. I mean, that has a cut action to it.
It definitely has a cut to it.
I think he's just yanking it that way. Seems like he gets in a little trouble. That last pitch was 92, 91, 89, 90 is when he gets the good movement with his fastball.
That one just missed. Very close to the strike 2 pitch. Late swing.
Late swing on a changeup, up and in.
Fly ball right center field. O'Doul will go it back. He has room, makes the catch. Couple steps out to the track. And one away.
I thought he hit that better than he did. Seemed like he hit the ball off the end of the bat. But the wind did shift a little bit the last half inning. Now it's blowing from right to left. You know, by his reaction, he thinks he got it. You know, actually jammed him just a hair.
Just a little bit.
But he still thought he had enough of it.
So Wright is retired. The kind of pitch he got him with earlier. It was a breaking ball earlier. That was a changeup, but it was kind of in the same spot.
Yeah, good location. Looks like a heater. Way out in front of it, you can tell by the helicopter swing. One hand on, one hand off.
Swing and a miss late on the 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
This is a good time to throw a curveball. Well, actually, here comes a changeup. There's 4 shakes there.
He knows what he wants to throw. Back toward the middle, off the foot of David Buchanan. And that'll be a base hit for Murphy. I believe David is okay just from his reaction. I think he's just frustrated like a pitcher would be. Sean Ficazzi's going to come out, though. That hit him square right in the spike.
Yeah, I think this one's smart a little bit.
Oh, yeah, it was on a line, too. It didn't bounce. Yeah, that's going to hurt a little bit. He's going to throw a pitch or two. Pete McCadden must have a chill. He's heading out to the mound with his winter coat on. It's really warm out. I think David's okay. It's his landing foot. Came back, hit the foot of his landing leg, and then hit the other leg. Cespedes up. 10-game hitting streak now for Daniel Murphy. Curveball, 0-1. Cespedes last time up grounded out.
On a ball up the middle on the shortstop side, fielded by Sweeney.
Foul ball, 0-2. Well, he gets ahead of him. Let's see if he can put him away.
Few options here, and I like the Tom, you said earlier about elevating a fastball. Shook him off again.
See what he wanted. He wanted a breaking ball, and he got him. Well, he's smarter than you and I, Matt.
Well, there's 2 options.
I should say you and me.
I mean, you can. I mean, this is a very good. But David's dropping his arm angle a little bit, throwing that curveball.
Yeah.
See right there, the curveball grip. Swung over top of it.
So 2 away. Lucas Duda's now the batter.
No, we mentioned there's a few options.
Options, yeah.
I just said that. I just mentioned the one.
I still like the high fastball.
I do too.
Adam Lowen. Uh-oh. Pete McCannon's coming up. He wants this ball game. He hasn't signaled yet to the pen. And there it is. Buchanan's night is done. They're going to go lefty on lefty. The Phillies up by 2. With rain falling here in Philadelphia, they want to get through this inning, make it an official ball game. Quite frankly, they want to win as many games as they can before the end of the year. So David Buchanan's night is done. After 4 2/3, Phillies lead it 3-1. We'll be back with Adam Lowen right after this. pennant race is in true HD quality on MLB.TV Premium. Watch every out-of-market game live on more than 400 supported devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more. Visit MLB.TV today. I don't know if that little guy knows what a widget is. There's Adam Lowen, 18th ball game for Lowen. So he's on lefty on lefty. Pete Buchanan pulling out at the stops here, trying to stop this inning right here, getting the lefty on lefty. Due to homered his last time up. That's part of the thought process, too, I would think. Inside, 1 ball, no strikes.
It was actually a pretty good pitch, that first one.
It was. Saw Lowen's reaction to it. That one's not. It goes past Cameron Rupp, and the 2 runners move up. So a wild pitch. Two balls and no strikes. Travis d'Arnaud is on deck. There's a right-hander warming up in the pen for the Phils as we speak. That's Colton Murray.
Lowen has one job today and one job only.
Lucas Duda.
Lucas Duda.
David Buchanan, 4 2/3. He pitched well again. He should be proud of himself for that. I know he wanted to finish this 5th inning. Pete liked this matchup a lot better. You got to give him credit for sticking with it, with what he wanted to do, and go lefty on lefty here.
Well, David Buchanan never likes coming out of games.
Nobody does.
And I did when he was a left-handed pitcher, but there's no difference in his record if you won this game or lost this game. That's not going to turn the year around.
2-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Duda goes down on strikes, and the side is retired. Pete Buchanan rolled the dice, wanted the lefty against Lucas Duda, and it paid off. The Phillies will maintain a 2-run lead here in this ball game with 2 runners in scoring position. Duda goes fishing. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Phils still nurturing a 3-1 lead. And Matt, a reminder, Sunday is a 3:05 first pitch. It's Fan Appreciation Day, and as Isaac told you, there are plenty of prizes and surprises during Sunday's ball game. Plus, all fans will get the 2016 Phillies schedule magnet. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com.
3:05. Every Major League Baseball game on Sundays at 3:05. Fun fact. Do you know that?
I didn't realize every game was a 3:05.
3:05.
Adam Lowen will bat. Back toward the middle and a base hit for Lowen, who was a hitter at one point.
And a good hitter.
He'd said to me, I said, "You think you'll get another chance to hit?" He said, "I hope so." I said, "I'm ready to go." He takes BP all the time. So he's aboard to start the bottom of the 5th inning. The thought process behind Lowen getting a chance to bat here, even if he doesn't pitch in the top of the 6th inning, is that he can swing it. So although they've got extra players, they're without Andres Blanco. Ryan Howard is available to pinch hit, but why waste a pinch hitter at this point? Here's Galvis with the runner at first. Ready a little out front. One away. And Odubel Herrera is due up. Just out killing time. Bartolo Colon. Six 1-pitch outs for Bartolo Colon. Odubel has 2 hits this evening. Lays off, and it's 1-0.
.58 pitches thrown for Colon so far. And remember, Freddie Galvis' first at bat of the game. 9 pitches?
10
pitches. You know, I understand facing pitchers who overpower you.
Mm-hmm.
That you want to be aggressive early in the at bat. And no disrespect from Colon, he's not going to overpower you.
Right.
He's not going to have that one pitch unless he throws that 2-seam fastball inside the left-handers. You can take pitches because he adds and subtracts better than anyone in baseball.
The chopper over the head of Duda to right field. Lowen's on his way to third. And Odubel is 3 for 3. Well, so much for 0 for his last 10. Well, as promised earlier in the game, we have selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. And today's photo, selected by Greg Murphy, comes from at Deem Ellen. Great day with my brother, niece, and nephew cheering on my Phillies. Thank you, Ellen, for sending that photo in. And thank you for watching all year long. Tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag Philly Photo Data Strong Fan, and you just might see yourself before the end of the week in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Here's Altair with 1 out.
Exactly what I need. And how do you get this?
13 3-hit games for Odubel Herrera. Popped him up. Shallow right field. Granderson is in. Lowen will tag and draw the throw. Darren Ruff's coming up, and Ruff is bringing the lumber. Brought to you by Yellowwood Grand Pressure Treated Pine. This was back in the first.
He is bringing the wood. Hit the 3-run shot back in the first inning. Putting the Phillies up 3-0 early in the game. 425 feet.
His went 425. Duda's went 440 to the back of the bushes. Those are two big, strong shots right there. So Darren bats here with 2 outs and runners on first and third. Breaking ball on the outside corner.
Which is fine because that was the at bat, the second at bat. That's the pitch he swung at and hit the weak ground ball to third base.
Try to go a little farther off the plate. Out to shortstop. Tejada stays down on it, and they go to second to get Herrera. Phillies are retired here in the bottom of the 5th inning. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 men left. To the top of the 6th we go. The Phils lead it by 2. Season with plenty of confidence heading toward 2016 and his future as the Phillies closer. Ken Giles entered the current campaign with aspirations of solidifying a late-inning role in the Phillies bullpen. Since the trade deadline and getting the call to shut the door on a daily basis, 100-mile Giles has slammed it shut with an ERA of 0.40 and only 1 blemish in his save opportunities entering the final week. The closer spot is filled for the immediate future, and it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Top of the 6th inning, Phillies lead at 3-1. They hope they can get to Ken Giles with a lead. Adam Lowen not only got a base hit, but got a huge out, getting Lucas Duda to go down on strikes to finish up the 5th inning. Now it's Dalyer Hinojosa who will take over. 2-0 with an ERA that is seeping down, 0.95. Been a very nice pickup for the Phillies. Pitches up high, 1 ball and no strikes. Lowen goes a third of an inning, 1 strikeout for the Phillies in relief of David Buchanan.
Hinojosa has been a very good pickup, and you can see the confidence building every time he takes the mound. Good velocity on his fastball, but he has that equalizer, that split finger fastball.
Yeah, there it is right there. Now that one was up a little bit. One and two. Back toward the middle and into center field. A base hit for Travis d'Arnaud. 3 for his last 31, or 33 was d'Arnaud before that base hit. He's aboard. Michael Conforto's coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph?
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Well, we all know that the Mets have clinched the NL East. They are headed to the postseason, but that doesn't mean they don't have something still to play for. They are trying to play for a home field advantage. As it stands right now, they will have that. They have 2 more wins than the Los Angeles Dodgers, the Mets with 89, LA with 87. Now, this is what the Mets have left, the 3 with Philadelphia, including tonight, then 3 at home versus Washington. LA is playing San Francisco right now, and then they have 3 with San Diego back home. The San Francisco is 5 games behind Los Angeles. However, they've made up 3 games in the standings in the last 3 days. LA has been struggling a bit, and the magic number for Los Angeles is still 2, but both those teams still need to win in order to secure that playoff home field advantage. So that's why you see Terry Collins pulling out all the stops. He's got all his starters out there because they still need to win these ball games, and until they're able to clinch that home field advantage, they really can't take their foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for anybody, obviously, to catch the Cardinals. They're been fantastic.
Yeah.
But the Cardinals get knocked off by whoever their wild card representative is, and the Mets can hold off the Dodgers, then they will indeed have home field throughout the playoffs. It'd be nice to, if you're any team, to have it at least 1 round.
Yeah.
That's what they're striving for. Fly ball left center field. That's well hit, but it's going to stay in the yard. Herrera will make the catch. Back to first goes d'Arnaud. And 1 away. And here's Tejada. Reached on a double his last time up under the glove of Cody Ashe. Jonathan Neese, who is going to be in the bullpen, it looks like, for the postseason, is warming up. Kelly Johnson is out in the on-deck circle.
And talking about the home field advantage, I mean, Syndergaard, you see his numbers, home compared to road.
Yeah.
You want that guy pitching as much as you can at home.
Absolutely. On the outside corner. 0-1 to Tejada. Good fastball down. It's 0-2. There is Syndergaard and DeGrom in front of him. That's Syndergaard right there. He'll start game 2. And the numbers Matt was talking about, 7-2 at home with an ERA of 2.57. Phillies fell victim to it.
First one on the road.
Yep.
It was 0-5. He won.
Yeah, and they fell victim to him at home, too, where he was dominant and hit a home run.
3 for 3 that game.
Yeah.
He's throwing 2 consecutive fastballs, 2 foul balls. I'd like to see him throw that split finger and bounce this ball.
That's what he was trying to do. Gotta stay hydrated. I've had enough.
For about 10 seconds.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Out to right field, Bogusevic is there, and he'll make the. Oh, he dropped it. He lost it in the lights. His flip to second base, not in time. E9. He kind of flinched at the last moment. You saw him turn.
Yep.
And it wasn't hit high. It wasn't hit hard, but it was hit in the lights.
You can see it right there. He didn't pick it up until the last second. By the time he picked it up, it was off the top of his glove. It's a bad feeling for an outfielder.
Bad feeling. Hinojosa now has to work around it. Kelly Johnson will pinch hit for the Mets. Up and away, 1 ball and no strikes. Pitch hitting for Bartolo Colon went 5 innings, 8 hits, and 3 earned runs. In the dirt, good play by Rupp. Everybody holds up. 2-0. Just a 2-run lead for the Phils here in the top of the 6th inning. Curtis Granderson on deck.
The dangerous pitch right here, 3-0. Going to have the green light.
And he grounds it foul past Tom Goodwin. Tomorrow night, Michael Barkat has a lot to talk about with Eagles expert Ray Dittinger. Start your night with Phillies Sports Talk tomorrow night at 5 right here on Comcast Sportsnet. And ball 4. And the bases are now loaded for the top of the order. Nobody warming up for Pete Buchanan as Curtis Granderson's coming up. Bob McClure out to talk. Just need to get a ground ball here. The error didn't help, but the walk of Kelly Johnson doesn't help either.
You know, a lot of times when the outfielders go in the outfield, and the first thing I used to do was look at the light situation, and knowing that, okay, if they want me playing in this area, I try to read the hitter's bat, especially with 2 strikes. I might cheat left or right and try to get out of that way of the lights. You know, it's the same as the sun ball. You know, you gotta push aside the scouting report sometime to where you feel comfortable in the outfield.
Granderson takes a strike. It's 0-1. We haven't seen many balls lost in the lights here.
No.
Bases are loaded. In the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rupp falls on it.
Rupp does a nice job of smothering that and keeping the ball in front.
Fly ball left field. Here comes Altair. Tagging from third is Darno. Altair gets behind it, makes the catch. The throw will stop Darno right in his tracks. 2 outs. And here comes David Wright. You win a Gold Glove in the minor leagues, it's not only because of your glove, but it's also because you have a strong, accurate arm. Colton Murray starts to warm up in the pen.
And trust me, even though it is a minor league Gold Glove, every single major league team around knows that he's a very good outfielder and has a good arm.
Pretty productive numbers with the bases loaded for David Wright. Low, ball 1.
It's your favorite time to hit. All the pressure's on the pitcher. He starts to squeeze that baseball a little bit more. Doesn't want to be too fine. Next thing you know, you're in a 1-0, 2-0, 3-1 count.
Got him. Fly ball to right. This one's above the lights. Bogusevic has it and squeezes and makes the catch. Side is retired. No runs. 1 hit, 1 Phillies error. 3 men left. The Mets have left 10 through the first 6 innings here tonight. Hinojosa knew it. Look at his reaction. The ball hasn't even been caught yet. Now it's caught. And a little calmer reaction as we go to the bottom of the 6th.
Where will Toyota take you? Visit buyatoyota.com today to find out. Toyota, let's go places. By W.B. Macy, you can't go wrong when you buy right. And by the Quality Plus Ford stores. Go further.
Bernie, thanks for that. Thanks for the smile. That's right. I'll buy a car from you, Bernie. I mean, you sold me. Bernie's operating our camera out in center field where he does it every single night.
Nice job, Bernie.
Yeah, nice job, Bernie. Jonathan Neese's 30th game. 9-10, a 4.16 ERA. This is only his 2nd relief appearance. His 29 games as a starting pitcher for the Mets this year, 173 innings. They think matchups against left-handers would be beneficial to have him in the bullpen. Cody Ashley will lead it off. Ashley's 0 for 2. He's grounded out. He's also struck out. 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, it's a great weapon to have. Have a veteran, a lefty who's usually starting, going to the bullpen, knowing that he knows how to pitch.
You always wonder, though, with some of the starters that are coming in, whether they can adapt, to the quick pace of getting ready for a ball game. But as we mentioned, we've seen it the last couple of years. Starters going into the pen have been a huge help for teams. Lincecum's the biggest help, I think, that we've seen. She fouls it back.
Well, and I think that's where you have to have, I know your manager has a lot of things going on, but your bench coach has to be so important, knowing that, hey, 9 hitters away or 8 hitters away, you might need a left-hander in this situation. Now, all of a sudden, you can call down and let him get him loose. Even with your bullpen coach, they have to know what's going on in the situation. And just start saying, hey, start moving around. You never know. You might get the call here.
That one's out toward the alley in left center field. It's going to drop, and it's going to skip. And backhanded by Cespedes, his throw to second base on one hop. He is out. Cody Ashley reacting to the throw, and really a nice play by Murphy to pick it. But give Cespedes credit. He got there fast, and he got rid of it fast.
Well, he did. He got over, and he planted his right foot and made a strong throw right there. But a very nice pick by Murphy at second base to put the tag on. Cody Ashley right there in time.
So what away here in the bottom of the 6th. And Darnell Sweeney. Oh, and 1 to Sweeney. Showed bunt. Singled up the middle his last time up.
We talked about Darnell Sweeney's swing earlier. His first at bat.
Fly ball to left field, Conforto.
And one thing I'd like to see him do is just slow his head down and his body down.
It's all about the adjustments of a young hitter.
Right.
2 outs. Cameron Rupp's coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murphy, got a new photo contest, huh?
Yeah, we do. We asked you to send in some photos on Instagram this morning, and as expected, Phillies fans delivered. Here are some of the ones we got today. How about this guy? Got himself a souvenir from D. Mullica 426. These 3 ladies enjoying a night out at Citizens Bank Park. Well done. How about this? Yeah, that's a walking boot on the left, and then that's a walking boot on the right.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, they did a nice job decorating that one. Number 4, well, family having a nice night at Citizens Bank Park. But our winner tonight, take a look at this. This is E. Hurricane, and they're just celebrating their Phillies pride out there in Center City in front of the Independence Hall. Pretty sure that's my man Tucker on the right there. The winner's $100 Phillies gift card coming your way, and a Phillies prize pack as well. Tomorrow you'll get another chance to post a picture presenting your Phillies passion on Instagram with the hashtag THXFans for a chance to win. Guys?
All right, Murph, we appreciate that. Here's Cameron Rupp, who was just retired on a sharp play by Lucas Duda and Jonathan Neese to wrap up the bottom of the 6th. We'll go to the 7th. Phillies lead it 3-1 over the New York Mets. for your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Game summary. The Phillies lead it 3-1 as we go to the top of the 7th inning. Lucas Duda's home run, the only run for the Mets. Darren Ruff, a 3-run shot. That was back in the first. And it's a bullpen game. Bullpen for both are involved as we go to the 7th. It had rained earlier. A little bit of a mist. Nothing major right now, which is the good news. Daniel Murphy takes strike one. Murphy is 1 for 3. Retired on a fine play by Darnell Sweeney. His first time up. Inside. Hector Neris is the new pitcher for the Phils. Neris takes over for Dyer Hinojosa when an inning scoreless. 2-2 with a 4.03 earned run average. Split low, 2-1. Inside, it nearly hit Murphy, and now it's 3-1. Off the end of the bat, Neris has it. And 1 out. That's one quick out.
That's a swing where you think it's going to be a fastball down the middle. I'm attacking this ball. He's going to groove one. I'm going to crush it. And it,
little tap.
I think it hits home plate.
It may have hit home plate. Something hit home plate.
Oh, fastball right down the middle.
It
Nope,
hit
that's
the top of the plate.
And that right there, I've been there, done it, and go, man, you're dumb. Why did I swing at that pitch? Because you gear up thinking, and there you go, talking about hitters thinking again, instead of just reacting.
Now Cespedes with nobody on, which is a good thing. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Outside, 1-0. One ball, one strike.
0 for 3 tonight, and they all decide to take the armbar,
I was thinking
armband
that.
off.
Yeah, the Tigers armband, black and orange one.
I think he did something with his wrist. His reaction.
You don't think it was just disgust?
I don't know.
Reaches out and pops it up. Darren Ruff in foul territory is under it. And there are 2 outs. So 2 away here in the 7th inning. And that'll bring Lucas Duda to the plate. Well, it is with sad news that we announced the passing of Rose Lipscomb. It was certainly a family affair for the Lipscomb family. Rose passed away on Sunday, 76 years old. Her husband, Al, was a Phillies greeter, and her daughter Patricia also works here at the ballpark as a Phillies hostess. Her grandson Chuck, a former Phillies security guard. Well, Rose was passionate as a Phillies employee, as a Phillies fan from the days of the Vets. And we pass our condolences along to the Lipscomb family. She called her hostess position a dream job with the Phillies. Anybody that crossed paths with her knew how serious she took it, how much fun she had with it, and how great she made everybody feel around her, not only as a worker but also from a fan standpoint too. 2 balls, no strikes to Lucas Duda. He fouls it back. 2-1. line drive into right field. Bogusevic will field it on a hop. And that is the second hit of the night for Lucas Duda. These lucky fans are tonight's Citizens 7. They will each receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Good banking is simple, clear, and personal, and that's helping you bank better. Citizens Bank.
Duda does not miss that fastball down in the zone.
Well, as you said, when he's hot and swinging, you know, and the timing's there, he's one of the hottest hitters in baseball when that happens. Darno singled his last time up high, 1-0. Late on that 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Over to third, Ashe charges. He has time. Darnell is actually moving pretty well. 5-3 on the put outside is retired. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. Time to stretch here in Philadelphia. The Phils still leading at 3-1. Tack on, they lead it by 2. Headed into extra innings and need a boost. Call WB Mason and order Green Mountain Coffee K-Cup pods. Great tasting coffee at amazingly low prices. Delivered free the very same day when you order by 11:30 a.m. WB Mason knocks it out of the park. Who but WB? Well, there is Chase Darno, who is about to pinch hit for the Phils. Murphy charges. Bogusevic throwing out. So Nice gets the first out here in the 7th. And now Chase will bat with his brother Travis catching. That's kind of cool.
Kinda, or is?
It is cool. They do look alike.
Question for you. So now all of a sudden you have a collision play at home plate.
Oh, you run them over.
Oh, big time.
You run them over. And you just say, take that.
Well, you better steamroll them then.
No, it wasn't up and in. 0-1. 0-2. Chase is 1 for 8. Travis wanted it inside to his brother. Has to be a big thrill for the family to watch it. 2 good kids, too. Another pop-up foul, and it remains 0-2. But it's been a long time since they were on the field together at the same time. But I'm sure one brother knows what pitch you can throw to get the other brother out.
But his one brother telling the other brother what's coming.
That's what Pete wanted today. Swing and a miss. He got him with a curveball.
They're not.
2 outs. Well, it didn't result in a base hit for Chase, but it was probably a cool memory. Somebody was probably snapping some photos of that. Galvis tonight is 0 for 3. Popped out, lined out, and then popped out again. 0-1. Oh, 2 to Galvis. Line drive, base hit it to right field. Freddie now with 144 hits. That's tops on the Phillies ball club.
Nice job. He takes advantage of he's missing his target. Fastball in the zone. And he punches it to right field. I like it even better because he stayed out of the air.
Stayed out of the air and stayed with it. Odubel is 3 for 3 tonight. His average up to 292. I hope he finishes with a 300 batting average, or at least close to it.
I would agree.
Mentioned that he was there. And since that time, coming into tonight's ballgame, he only had 9 hits. Eric Goodell is the right-hander up in the pen for the Mets. Luis Garcia is the right-hander up for the Phillies.
That's one thing you see in baseball nowadays is that a hitter, will take a pitch or take a swing at a pitch and automatically look up at the radar gun, see how hard that pitch was.
Wouldn't you? Did he peek?
Oh yeah, he's looking up there. You know, they have one down the right field corner, and they also have 2 up on the upper deck areas.
Yeah, there's spots to find it.
Oh yeah. Ballpark in Houston probably took me a year to figure out where it was. It's down where the tarp is down the left field line.
Is that the only spot? There's probably another spot in the outfield somewhere.
Yeah, I couldn't find it.
Odubel does not bite. 1 and 2.
You see right up there, it's his cutter.
Yeah.
Pitch speed.
I'd look up there and see Lucio's Bakery and think, Runner goes. There's a liner out toward right center field. Galvis, there's 2 outs. You got to keep going. He hesitated for a moment. And Odubel's 4 for 4 tonight. He may have hesitated because he didn't know where the ball was, and he didn't want to go to third and make the last out at third base. Terry Collins coming up.
Well, the problem is, though, is that Freddie's already at second base.
Yeah.
So he's at second base. He hears the crack and doesn't realize where the ball is. I know it's a straight steal, but that's the situation where you hear the crack. The first thing you do is boom. You look at Mizrock, seeing what he wants you to do. You're already standing at second base, unless he thought it was a ground ball in the infield.
Yeah, and he thought, I don't want to keep going because they'll get me pretty easy. Herrera's 4 for 4. Phil's threatening here in the bottom of the 7th. The family packs, there are 2 dates left, October 3rd and October 4th. Order your tickets now by going to Phillies.com for the matchup against the Miami Marlins. Fanatics got a fan club forming down at the top part of the dugout. Eric Goodell will take over for the Mets with runners on first and third. 33rd game for Goodell, 30 strikeouts at 31 2/3. And he will face Aaron Altair. Altair 1 for 3. He singled his first time up and scored, making his 30th start of the season. Over toward the hole, a base hit. It's a left field. A run will score. So an insurance run for the Phils. Pretty aggressive swing right there by Altair. He's 2 for 4. It's his 18th RBI of the season.
No, I love that situation. You bring in a reliever. The reliever wants to get ahead of the hitter. You have runners in scoring position, 2 outs. Be aggressive. Nice job of hitting right there through the hole, getting a huge 2-out knock. A lot of times you see rookies or young players kind of change their approach in that situation, and that's the time you want to be aggressive with a new guy in the bullpen and runners in scoring position.
Let's see if Darren Ruff can tack on some more. The Phils lead it 4-1. A breaking ball, and it's 0-1.
I was kind of hoping he was sitting on curveball.
Darren?
Yes.
Yeah, that would have been a pretty good pitch if he was sitting on it.
Well, you know he's not going to throw 2 consecutive fastballs with runners in scoring position, especially when you ambush the first one.
Check swing and a breaking ball outside, 1-1.
It's a nice block by Darno on the split finger. That was one of the more aggressive swings I've seen Darren take after a ball. Little hanging split finger fastball.
On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Rangers lead the Tigers 6-5. That's only in the top of the third inning.
Another pitching duel.
Yeah, Cole Hamels on the mound for the Rangers.
Oof.
He's pitched well. They've won a lot of games. He's pitched pretty well for them. Inside 3-2. Runners will be off on this offering. But the Tigers are threatening with 2 outs in that top of the third. Now the ball must be flying down in Arlington.
Especially to right center. What a jet stream that is out there.
Runners go. Swing and a miss. Side is retired. He threw him another split. He threw 3 of them in that at bat. Phillies though get a run, an insurance run thanks to Aaron Altair, and of course the Fanatic will go to the 8th. And by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop Nissan.com. 4-1, top of the 8th inning. It's time now for our Hyundai defensive play of the game. This was a nice play in the first inning by Darnell Sweeney.
Well, it was. Just showing a very good range to his left. Getting a very good jump. Making a very nice play on Murphy, who doesn't run real slow, but it's a very nice play. Gets up, makes a very strong throw. That's why it's your Hyundai defensive play of the game, brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers.
He's back out at it. Here is Luis Garcia, 70th ball game. Michael Conforto will lead it off. Breaking ball. Darnell Sweeney scoops it up, 1 away. Outs, and quick outs are always good. Phillies Fantasy Camp featuring Matt Stairs is the sports experience where anything becomes possible. From January 20th till January 24th, 2016. Join legends like Matt, like Mike Schmidt for baseball and camaraderie. Take part in a 1-hour hitting clinic with Mike. Matt will do the flips. Create memories that last a lifetime. Book now at PhilliesFantasyCamp.com.
I would do the flips. I would clean the baseballs for Mike Schmidt, whatever he needed. Because I will be listening to that.
I'd watch it, though. He might take you up on that.
Quite all right. I'll
Matt,
be there.
go get me some ice cream.
No.
Mike, they don't serve Turkey Hill down here. Tejada is 1 for 3, doubled back in the 4th inning. Outside, 2-0. In the dirt, 3-0. Thought it was interesting listening to Pete Buchanan talk today about a handful of things, but talking about spring training. He said his mind's already working, and Andy McPhail even told us that his mind's already working about how to handle spring training and some of the goals that he has. Now, he said a lot of it will depend on what the Phillies do in the offseason as far as moves go, whether it be for the bullpen or for the position players of the starting rotation. There's ball 4, and Tejada will draw a walk. But he did talk about taking care of some things if the Phillies are not built for power
pitcher Eric Goodell
and aren't built to have, let's say, that bona fide veteran ace at the top of the rotation. He said it's the same thing we've talked about. It's fundamentals, and it's not walking guys as pitchers. And he said what he's going to do, because they've tried it the last couple of years, he's going to break it up. It's not going to be A to Z. Let's work on fundamentals. It's going to be A to D, and then after that, E to L. You know, piece it together. Get really good at the one section, and then move on to the next section. So his mind is already working as far as spring training goes. And, you know, one of the writers brought it up, and rightfully so. That's been a topic of conversation. Fundamental baseball. Don't make base running mistakes. Don't walk batters if you're coming out of the bullpen. Physical errors, mental errors, all that part of it. But, you know, that's one of the goals he has for next spring training, and even during the offseason when he leaves the players with a few words of advice and some thoughts is, hey, let's play a little crisper as far as the fundamentals go. Neuenheim strikes out, so there are 2 outs. And I think that all of us who have watched it probably would agree with it, particularly this year and even part of last year too.
No, and I think it's going to be interesting in the offseason. Be interested to see what kind of moves they make, if any. But I'm looking forward to spring training to see how Pete runs this, getting his first opportunity.
0-1 to Curtis Granderson.
I don't think you can teach base running.
Instinctive?
I think so. Honestly, I think it is.
I think you could probably give them situations, though, you know, let them look at situations maybe a little differently. But you're right. I think a lot of it is instinctive.
Well, but I think sometimes when guys get on the base paths, the game gets a little too quick for them. It's funny saying how baseball can get a little quick, but, you know, and it's like we were talking about Darren earlier, but maybe sitting on a curveball, back-to-back fastballs from a reliever. It's the same thing about situations in your head, what might happen. And a great example is Chase Utley. He was always thinking ahead.
Yeah, what would happen not only the next pitch, but the next inning.
Right. Now, if the ball hits the left center, am I going to get to third base? Depending on who gets the ball. You know, that's the biggest thing where they have to think ahead. Less mistakes.
Back toward the middle, Freddie Galvis will take it right to the second base bag. Nice job by Luis Garcia. Didn't walk one batter, but he gets out of it by leaving one. 12 runners left on base for the Mets tonight. The Phillies lead it 4-1 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. the organization in the community as well as perform duties on the field. The requirements are as follows: softball experience, fun and outgoing personality. You must be 18 years or older. Please send a resume and 2-minute video, a DVD or on YouTube, demonstrating your softball skills and why you'd like to make a great Phillies ball girl. Now, the application deadline has been extended till October 4th. You can send it to ballgirls@phillies.com or send it by mail. Ball girl applicant, 1 Citizens Bank Way, Philadelphia, PA, 19148. Qualified applicants will be notified of a tryout date. Carlos Torres takes over here in the bottom of the 8th inning against Cody Ashe. First pitch from Torres misses. One ball and 1 strike. Darno off with the mask. It's back into the Diamond Club. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ashe. Ashe tonight is 1 for 3. Singled his last time, thrown out trying to stretch that single into a double.
Great throw by Cespedes and a great pick by Murphy at second. Which was fine. I didn't mind the aggressive, being aggressive trying to get to second base. Made a great play to get him, and it did. It was a great play.
Yeah, all the way around. You're right. The pick by Murphy. I mean, the play by Cespedes was excellent, but the pick by Murphy was fantastic. Another year or two, that little guy's going to love that pretzel. In the dirt, and it's 2-2. Swinging a foul tip and 1 away. 1 out, and that means Sweeney's coming up. Time for the Major League Notebook. Let's turn it over to Greg Murphy.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Brought to you by St. Joseph's University. And after being shut down last week with a partially torn elbow ligament, Kansas City reliever Greg Holland is now going to miss quite some time. He is going to undergo Tommy John surgery on Friday. Of course, he was the best reliever in baseball a season ago, and he helped the Kansas City Royals get all the way to the World Series. But he has been bothered by that since August, so they are shutting him down, and he does indeed need that surgery. Wade Davis, of course, has taken over as the closer for the Royals. And this does not come as a big surprise, but Giancarlo Stanton also has been shut down for the season. As he hangs on. Nice catch.
Yeah, he did.
He has been shut down for the season, as we know, because he's had that surgery back on June the 26th. The hamate bone was broken in his hand. He did go down and participate in a couple of rehab games in hopes of coming back. He had been having an MVP quality season before the injury, but he just never got the strength back in his hands. They do expect he will be back in time for spring training 100%. But when the Marlins come here, guys, over the weekend, we will not see Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah, it's a long time for that kind of injury for him to be out. But they're being a little extra cautious.
Pretty nice catch.
It was a very nice catch.
Great concentration.
Thank you. I continue doing my report.
Very good.
Yeah. There's one nugget, Murph, that you did not put on that report. I'm not sure why you neglected to put it out there.
Okay.
Camera rep takes inside. Isn't there a birthday that we're celebrating today? Is there somebody you have to wish happy birthday to?
My mother?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Joan.
Yeah,
there you go.
Happy birthday, Joan.
I didn't plan on putting that on there, but
you forgot to call her, so I mean we want to make sure you forgot to get her a gift, so we want to make sure that you do that.
This is great concentration. The ball pops out here. I got you. No panic.
1 ball, 1 strike to Cameron Rupp.
Murph, you didn't even miss a beat. You had the call right back to the report.
I wouldn't go that far, but okay. I didn't lose my concentration.
Would have been really impressed if you wouldn't have forgot your mother's birthday.
Shame on you. Least you could have done was pick one of those photos and maybe put hers in there.
That was Murph's job. He picked all 6 today.
3-1 the count to Cameron Rupp. Ryan Bogusevic is on deck. Back toward the middle and backhanded by Murphy, who was shaded that way. Side is retired. Phillies go down in order here in the 8th inning. So it means we'll go to the 9th. Ken Giles coming in to try to close the door on a Phillies victory. Play of the game. We go back to the 5th inning.
Well, it was a key moment. Adam Long comes in, does a very nice job throwing a slider there to get Duda to finish the inning. And then here, Hinojosa gets David Wright to pop up, shows his emotion with the bases loaded. Shows he's very excited. Nice job by those 2 guys.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, if the Phillies go on to win this ball game, and it's Ken Giles who come on here in the top of the 9th inning, Lowen really should be given a huge tip of the cap for what he did. I mean, that was a big spot. You go after a guy that had hit a home run earlier in the game that went 440 feet and has been red hot.
And tip your hat to Pete for making the decision as well.
Here's Ken Giles looking for his 14th save. 13 of 14 since taking over for Jonathan Papelbon, who had an eventful weekend. David Wright will lead it off. On the outside corner, it's 0-1. Every time the Phillies pitchers retire the opposition, 1, 2, 3, Comcast will make a donation to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. Oh, 2. Wright is 1 for 3. Walked back in the 3rd. Singled his first time up. 1-2. 4 straight sliders from Ken Giles against David Wright. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's a fastball at 99. It's 3-2. I do believe the home plate umpire is hearing it for the Phillies dugout.
Well, it's twice tonight. Been very close pitches on David Wright with 2 strikes.
That one's way outside, ball 4. So it means the tying run is coming into the plate. Larry's going to go to the phone. He wants to see if those pitches were close or not. By the way, not the tying run of the plate. The Phillies got that insurance run, which is huge. Here is Daniel Murphy with a runner at first. 4-1, Phillies on top. This is a save situation. Over to first, a foul ball off the foot of Daniel Murphy. Right off the top.
Right off the top of the shoe. Best pitch in baseball right now is the back foot slider. See if he'll do it again. I hated when pitchers would do that. Well, if he wasn't awake before, he's awake now, having won 98 by your Cabeza.
Over to short. This could be 2. It's going to be tough. It's not hit all that hard. There's 1. And not in time. Murphy was limping up the first base line. So they get the lead runner. And with 1 out, Cespedes is coming up. Oh, it's huge that Cespedes is not coming up as the tying run. As the rain starts to fall here in Philadelphia. Cespedes tonight is 0 for 4. By the way, we haven't mentioned this, but the playing field looks fantastic. Guys have worked really hard to get it to turn around over the last several weeks. With all the dry weather that we've had in the area, they've done a great job with the surface.
They really have.
I mean, doesn't it look unbelievable?
Yep.
I don't know how they're able to turn it around that fast, but they did. No balls, 1 strike to Cespedes. 0-2, 99 on that fastball. Swing and a miss. He got him. He went fishing for a slider, 2 away here in the 9th inning. And now Lucas Duda's the batter.
Well, first you get the fastball at 99, then you get the equalizer. The very good slider down in the zone. So you can get on top of that. That's the reason why it landed where it did. Tom, isn't he their Philly of the week?
He is the Philly of the week, yeah. He's on the doorstep of 100-mile Giles here. 99 is where he's topped off. Runner goes from first. Fastball for strike one. We'll go over the signs, the adjustment of the signs. He only has the 2 pitches, but we want to get on the same page with these pitches here to Duda. Defensive indifference is how they've scored the movement by Murphy. Two. Murph talked about home field in the first round and possibly throughout the playoffs for the Mets. The Phillies are trying to not lose 100 games this year. It's on their mind. No balls, 2 strikes to Duda. Out to left field. That's well hit. Altair going back, and it is gone. Opposite field home run, and it's a 1-run game. Second home run of the night, 5th home run on this road trip. He's making up for lost time. Think about the home runs he's hit on this road trip. 2 opposite way.
And this one opposite way off a 99-mile-an-hour heater. It's a strong kid, powerful swing, and a short swing. A lot of guys that are big power hitters have sometimes a long swing. With a head down location. Finished high.
Travis d'Arnaud's the batter. He's 1 for 4. Slider up. 7th 2-home run game this season. Cameron Rupp rightfully going out to the mound. The Mets have Familia up in the pen. They've got Clippard up in the pen. Clippard, if they tie it, took a little off that 96. Phillies fans are coming to their feet. Chase is hoping the Phillies can get his brother out here and win this ball game. 2 balls, 2 strikes to d'Arnaud. Swing and a miss. He got him. And Ken Giles picks up the save in what turned out to be a 1-run ball game. The Phils win it 4-3. Save number 14 for Kenny Giles. Well, he allowed the 2-run home run. It got it a little tighter. But he was able to bounce back and get d'Arnaud on a couple fastballs and then this slider.
Very good location. You can tell the awkward swing. Thinking it's going to be a heater. He wants to go out and get it. All of a sudden you get the equalizer. Very nice pitch. Good timing.
12 runners left on base for the Mets tonight. Darren Ruff's 3-run home run gave the Phils a big boost in the first inning. Gave them some life in the first inning. They end a 6-game losing streak to New York. And not only that, the Phillies continue to try to avoid 100 losses. Here is our W. Mason delivery of the game, and it comes off the bat of Darren Ruff.
Yeah, it did. Early in the game, fourth pitch. It's a 3-run home run to straightaway center. Puts the Phillies on top 3-0, and they never look back. That's the W.B. Mason delivery of the game, and he is down with Greg Murphy on the field. Murph,
All right, thank you very much. Very much. It came early in the game, but the big blow comes in the bottom of the first inning off of your bat. Take us through that at bat because, as you get that continuous playing time, it seems you're getting more and more comfortable up there against the Rays.
Yeah, I am. I'm getting more comfortable, getting in a good rhythm. He got ahead 0-2 and made some pitches, laid off a good slider low and away, and then he left one over the middle of the plate a little bit. And, he's tricky just because he can throw anywhere from, 93 to 83, and it's a fastball. So you just got to battle against him, and luckily I got the barrel on the ball and hit it hard.
425 feet estimated. Did you think you got it when you hit it? Did you think it was going to go out?
Yeah, I knew I hit it good, but I looked at Cespedes in center field, and he didn't move much, so I didn't know if it was like he had some top spin on it that I didn't feel, but and then I saw him kind of give it a nice jog, and at that point I knew it was going to be a homer.
You score the 3 in the first, then you add 1 late in the game, you end up winning this one. 6 different pitchers come in, including David, come in and able to hold the lead. What does that say about the bullpen and the way they're pitching right now?
Yeah, David did a good job early in the game, getting out of some jams and keeping runs off the board for them. And then, each guy in the bullpen came in, did their job, got their 1 inning in and scoreless inning. So, and that shows you Aaron's at bat getting 1 extra run, and I think it might have been the 7th. Is huge because you never know what can happen late in the game. And sure enough, Duda hits a 2-run home run, and his RBI. Is really big for us in that situation.
And Kenny's able to close it up right before the rains are going to come. I think we're about to get dumped on. Darren, thanks for your time. Way to go, guys. Back upstairs.
All right, Murph, we appreciate that. The victory goes to Adam Lowe, and the save goes to Ken Giles. That's slide.